Hello everybody, welcome to our class. Today we will try to explain these topics. I will try to explain them as simple as possible so everybody would understand them from zero. I hope you will find this helpful, so let's get started. Our first topic is stack and heap memory. As stack memory, you can only take them with an order. For example, you can't take this from the middle directly. Firstly, you need to take the ones from the top. But at heap memory, you can take anything anytime you want. For example, you need to take this. You can directly take this. You don't need to take any other of them. Let's look at real life examples. Think of stacking books. Whichever book you place last is on top, and you can easily pick it up. Computers work the same way. They retrieve the most recently added data first. For example, you can't take this book directly. First, you need to take the ones from the top. But at heap memory, you can take anything you want anytime. For example, you need to take this book, you can directly take it. You don't need to take any other of them. Stack is used for automatic memory management. When writing a program, variables declared within a function, for example, int a equal to 10, are automatically stored in the stack. Once the function ends, these variables are automatically deleted from memory. This process happens without additional effort from the programmer. But at heap memory, heap is used for dynamic memory management. The heap memory is manually managed by the programmer during program execution. For example, memory is allocated using the new operator and released using delete. This allows for flexible memory usage, but the programmer must ensure proper memory deallocation. Stack memory is managed automatically, while heap memory is managed manually by the programmer. Let's look at virtual examples. For example, Solitaire. We can add many card examples here. Almost all of the card games, for example, Uno, Solitaire, all of them support a stack example, but we will explain this Solitaire game. In Solitaire, cards are added one to another. Last added cards will need us, but the rest will not need us. Uh, we won't use them. So it's stack example. We can take it. The last card added is the first to be removed, following the stack principle. But at heap memory, our example is Minecraft. I think you all have ever once played Minecraft. You know that we can take any block and we can put it to anywhere. In Minecraft, the world is built dynamically and freely. Players can place and remove blocks as they wish, resembling heap memory management. Our next topic is primitive and reference data types. Primitive data types are the simplest data types. For example, int, float, char, bool. Variables store their values directly. But at reference data types, a reference is an alternative name for an existing variable. It stores the memory address of the original variable. For example, here B refers to A, meaning it shares the same memory address. Our next topic is pointer and reference. Pointer stores the memory address of another variable, created by assigning the address of a variable using this symbol. To access the value stored at the pointer's address, use this symbol. For example, we have here a variable and it's equal to 10. And we have another variable p. It stores A's memory address. Here, A is a primitive data type and P is a pointer. Let's look at real life example. If we invite someone to our house as a guest, someone is going to come our house, right? Our house is a variable. We don't give them our house. And computers work the same way. They don't give the variable itself. Like we give them an address of our house, computer gives us an address of our variables. Here, house is a variable and address is a pointer. Then, reference. A reference provides an alternate name for an existing variable. Once created, it remains tied to that variable. For example, We have here a variable and we have b. Here they share the same memory address. After we make b 20, now both a and b have the same value 20. Our next topic is arrays. The best course that provides students with the best education from informatics subject is Array Educational Center. They have best teacher squad. They also provide students with different subjects too. Best choice for improvement. They also have published the first real source of learning informatics book. It teaches algorithms, programming, operating systems, etc. Arrays a fixed size list that stores elements of the same type in memory locations. Once defined, the size of array cannot be changed. Elements are accessed using indicators starting from 0. For example, here we have 5 elements and it starts from 0 and the last is false. For example, let's look at real life examples. Here we have vegetables and fruits. We have to store them for their types, vegetables and stores. Arrays do the same thing. They store elements with the same types. For example, fruits will be placed here and vegetables will be placed here. Our next topic is structure. Structs in C++ groups related data together, allows different types of data to be stored as a single unit. For example, we want to store someone's information, for example, his name, his surname, his age, his different datas. We don't save them mixed, we save them in a one structure. For example, let's look at here. We have people's name, age, etc. here. Our next topic is unions. Unlike structures, all members of a union share the same memory location. Different types are stored in the same memory space. All different types, int, float, double, char, string, bool, etc., share the same location at memory. And our next and last topic is enums. For knowing enums, firstly we have to know about switch case. Switch helps us for less usage of if, else if. For example, here we have days of the week and we need to access them. We can't directly access them. That's harder and has big risks of making mistakes. So switch will help us here. But the problem is switch only works with int types. So we need to use enums. Enums used to assign symbolic names to values for their readability. And it helps us to avoid multiple if-else statements by making switch statements more readable. For example, we don't see here background, but at computer reads them like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. We see the code like this, but at background, computer gives them int numbers like this. So at background, computer gives them int values, and this makes them like normal switch cases. Why we need to use enums? Because it improves code readability by replacing numbers with meaningful names, and it makes the code easier to understand. For example, if choice equals to green is more easier instead of if choice equals to 1. And it reduces errors since only predefined values can be used. Okay, that's it. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and like and share this video. I hope you all good luck.